All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about something a lot of people feel but don't always talk about. You're earning a good income, you're doing all the things you're supposed to do, but you've still got this nagging financial anxiety. So, this is all about how to escape that feeling, how to get off the treadmill and actually build a financial life that means something to you. I mean, does this sound familiar? You get a pay raise, which is awesome, but somehow, almost magically, your expenses creep up right alongside it. You buy that new thing you've been wanting, and for a minute, it feels great. But then, the feeling fades. It's like you're pedaling faster and faster, but you're not actually going anywhere. You're working harder than ever, but you don't feel any richer, and you definitely don't feel any freer. Well, you're not imagining it. There's actually a name for this feeling. It's called the hedonic treadmill. Now, in psychology, it just means that our happiness level tends to snap back to a baseline no matter what happens. But when it comes to your money, and this is the part that really matters, it's a trap. It is the endless cycle of earning more just to spend more, keeping you stuck in the exact same spot. So let's really break down this financial treadmill. What's powering it? Well, it's basically running on two invisible fuels. First, there's that constant urge to upgrade our lifestyle, lifestyle inflation. And second, there's that relentless habit of comparing ourselves to everyone else, which is especially powerful if you live in a competitive, high-cost city. And this really gets to the heart of it. This whole thing is a race with no winners. And why is that? It's because the finish line is always moving. The second you finally get the car your neighbor has, or you reach that lifestyle you saw on Instagram, you just find a new person, a new benchmark to chase. It is literally an unwinnable game. So, if you're in a race with no winners, how do you win? Simple. You stop running their race. And that brings us to this massive shift in perspective, one that comes from Christopher Tan. He's the CEO of a firm called Providend, and they manage over $1.7 billion, so he knows a thing or two about money. This quote right here, this is the whole game changer. It's all about reframing what money is actually for. Think about it. Is that expensive watch a status symbol to show other people how well you're doing? Or is the money you didn't spend on it a tool that could buy you, say, 3 months off work to learn a new skill? The moment you start seeing money as a tool to build the life you actually want, the need to keep up with anyone else, it just kind of vanishes. Okay, so if we're going to play a new game, then we're going to need a new set of rules, right? And that's where these 4 purpose-driven principles come in. They're designed to help you take that new philosophy and actually put it into practice. So here they are, the 4 pillars. First, you have to define your own finish line. What does enough look like for you? Second, you need to understand that the price of something isn't its real cost. The real cost is the future freedom you're giving up by buying it. Third, you make sure your spending lines up with what you truly value, not just valuables. And finally, number 4, you completely change who you're competing against. And this chart just lays it out so perfectly. See, the treadmill way is all about looking sideways at your neighbor's new car, at someone's curated life on social media, all these external things that have zero to do with your own happiness. The purpose-driven way, it turns your focus inward. The only comparison that actually matters is this. Are you in a better place financially with more control over your time than you were last year? Now that is a race you can actually win. All right, we've got the mindset down. We've got the new principles. Now let's get into the blueprint. This next part is all about the how. It's a real practical strategy you can use to build wealth in a way that just gets easier over time. And the concept is called the financial flywheel. Just imagine a really heavy wheel. At first, it's super hard to get it moving, right? Every push takes a ton of effort. That push is your salary, your active income. But once you get it spinning, it starts to build its own momentum. And soon, it's turning almost on its own. In your financial life, this means you take your salary and you buy assets that start producing their own income. Then you take that income and reinvest it, and the wheel just starts spinning faster and faster. And here is just a brilliant way to structure that flywheel by thinking of your assets as a pyramid. You start at the bottom with the foundation. These are stable, safe assets, designed to protect what you have. The slide mentions traded endowments. Think of them like secondhand insurance policies that provide steady, reliable returns. This is your financial fortress. Then, in the middle, you have the engine. This is your active income, your job, your side hustles. This is the fuel for everything. And because your foundation is secure, you can use that fuel to power the very top of the pyramid, the accelerator. This is where you go for serious growth, things like tech stocks or digital assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Each layer supports the one above it. And all of this brings us to the final, and honestly the most important piece of the puzzle. You can have the right mindset, you can have the perfect blueprint, but none of it matters without this one last thing. You have to define your own finish line. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The reason the financial treadmill is so exhausting is because there is no end. But by deciding what enough actually means for you, enough money to feel secure, enough to live life on your terms, you're not just running anymore. You're actually moving towards a destination. You've given yourself a goal. So as we wrap up, this is the one question I want you to ask yourself. As you're out there building your wealth, as you're putting your money to work, take a really hard look at what you're buying. Is it another shiny object designed to keep you running in that race with no winners? Or is it a tool that's buying you more time, more choices, more freedom to design your own life? Ultimately, that choice is yours.